Good day, fellow investors. Fabasoft is a software company where the stock went up 10 times over the last 5 years. As I have analyzed it, I really found some keys that will help us find future stocks that might go up 10 times. So in this video we'll analyze Fabasoft and also give an overview of what might be the key factors to watch when it comes to finding 10 baggers. So this is part of my analysis. If you want to find more such stock analysis, especially small caps and other companies that are not so interesting for a video, but you can go onto my blog, and then here you have the Fabasoft stock analysis, all other Austrian stocks that I'm now analyzing as part of the current market that I'm analyzing, which is Austria. So you have here all the links to all the recent analysis that I made. Austria, the third cheapest stock market, and Fabasoft is traded in Vienna. So here is the analysis, and if you want to enjoy other analysis, you here have a small comment so you can see everything on my website, which is svenkarlin.com. So let's go on with the research. Now, Fabasoft has been quoted since 1999, so it probably went public within the internet boom, and the stock exploded following that boom from 1 to 10, then it fell, then it went up again, and then it crashed as most other internet stocks crashed again to €1. Then it boomed again till 2005, then it crashed, was forgotten again, little boom, but then struggling, and then 2013, 2015, then the actual slow traction started till 2017, and then it exploded into a 8-bagger, 7-bagger over the last few years, and a 10-bagger over the last 10 years, even more if we add the dividend. So I was really curious to see about this stock that has been around for 2 decades now, was established in 1988. So very interesting situation to see, look and learn from. It pays a dividend yield of 2.14%, thus it rewards shareholders. It has a market capitalization of 335 million euros, which means there is a lot of room to grow. Smaller companies are likely to grow easier than bigger companies. The price-earnings ratio is already high now. It's a price-earnings ratio for a growth stock, but let's see what we can find more. So we'll do an overview, discuss the business, the key factors for the 10-bagger, and then discuss the stock outlook from a current perspective. The business is about digitalization, especially for governments and public clients, so cloud-based documentation, and then Mindbreeze, a new search engine like cognitive search that helps those governments find the data they want among the big data. And this was actually the product that delivered the big spike in the stock price, because they launched it somewhere 2015-16, it got traction, it really increased revenues, and then they also made a recent acquisition in 2019. So they are trying to cater for the needs of public institutions, especially German-speaking, so Austria and Germany, that's their market. And we see here that since 2017 is when really the stock exploded and now reached 30 euros from a level of 3 euros or even less in 2015-16. What happened? What are the key factors that allowed for that explosion? Well, first, you see here 2011, 2017, revenue was really growing slowly, steadily, but slowly. The company was profitable, had good margins, even paid a dividend. Morningstar is not signaling a dividend here, which is the problem with these data providers. You never know whether the data is correct or not. They have been paying dividends. So you always, if you really want to check something, you have to check it yourself. The number of shares has been relatively stable, cash flows have been positive, but the key with the stock is this. In 2017, revenue was 28 million, and then it almost doubled to the current 51 million on a growth rate of 25%. That's alongside that's profitable growth, which is the key. Net income went from 2 million to 8 million, so it quadrupled. Dividends went from 18 cents to 50 cents, and now the market is pricing this from a no growth stock with a small dividend to a growth stock with a dividend growth stock, and that is what changes all the metrics. So the valuation probably went from 20 price earnings ratio to the current 40 on this net income, and then also the net income quadrupled, so there you have 8 10-baggers, and these are the key factors. What was the differentiating factor? As I said, this new product that really added revenues to the story. So what were the factors that I have individuated with Fabasoft that pushed it up 10 times? The company was already profitable and was doing okay already. A new product was created, MindBreeze, that helped double revenue alongside growth on other segments. From a fundamental basis, profits have quadrupled thanks to the new products already and the expansion of the potential products. The dividend has been increased. The company also did some buybacks in 2017, later issued back those shares at a much higher price for new capital. And the current outlook is for more growth, so the market expects for a continuation of growth, about 20% per year, and the stock is consequently priced for that growth. Before the growth started, it was a stagnating stock price, then it really exploded. So on the outlook, well, now it's a growth stock, and it all depends on whether the company will be able to grow as it did in the past. Will they make a smart acquisition, scale on that acquisition? Will they develop the product and keep gaining market with that product? So if you want to follow this, you really need to understand the needs of those public institutions that buy and that use those products. So you really need to go to a German institution that uses it and ask them how are they using MindBreeze or something. NYPD is also using, so you might check there. And then when it comes to such companies, you really need to understand the story and then see how that story fits the fundamentals. That's the key when finding great businesses. And that's also the reason why I push myself to write an article about each stock that I analyze. Can't do a video, takes too much time, because when I can put a story together with the fundamentals, then you can really understand and you can maybe nail those future 5, 10 baggers. From this list, this is a company AT&S that I will follow, dig deeper, because it's an interesting story on megatrends with okay fundamentals. So I do a lot of research. I'll do the complete Austrian stock market. Probably in a month this will be completed. Then I'll go on to copper miners in order to find perhaps just one company that I can follow over time, understand the story, and then buy if I am really convinced that this can transform into 5, 10 bagger over the next or more over the next few years. So the key is follow the fundamentals. When those fundamentals explode, so will the stock. If Fabasoft stock continues to grow for 20% over the next 10 years, 20% per year, that will be your investment return, because the market will always price it as a growth stock. Dividends will expand, earnings will expand, so everything will expand, and that will also be likely the return. If Fabasoft stock doesn't grow that fast, and this is a tool we use, the delta of the delta, the change in the growth rate, because the market is pricing one growth rate, and then you have to see which is the change in the growth rate. And I have discussed this tool in the Visa stock analysis, the delta of the delta tool. And if you want to analyze growth stock, that's the tool to use, and then try to understand the story of growth, put it into the model, and see how the market is pricing that, and then you'll see what's the outlook then. I'm not going to follow further Fabasoft because I would have loved to have seen it in 2015, but I didn't analyze the Austrian stock market, nor even was analyzing stocks this deep as I do it today, because it wasn't my profession yet. Now I'll continue to do that, so subscribe to this channel for more ideas. Check my stock market research platform if you want to see the details of my research and really the stocks that I follow and try to find the future baggers that are definitely out there. Looking forward to your comments. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.